Hi everyone, this is Shereen Whipple for the record. There's still some people joining in, so we're going to give it just another minute. Okay. Cool, I think we're ready.
Good afternoon. This is Bill Elliott for the record, and we're here for the Nevada Interstate Mutual Aid Committee. And we'll go to agenda item number 1, call to order, and roll call. Ms. Whipple, please.
Thank you. Jeannie Freeman,
Here.
Roy Anderson,
Here.
Ron Boyer, Sean Burke,
Present.
Todd Carlini, Colonel Kyle Serfolio,
I'm here.
Kelly Echeverriera,
Here.
Sam Hicks, Carol Lynn,
Here.
Don Pelt,
Here.
Matt Peterson,
Present.
Colonel Brian Howard,
Present.
Lisa Christensen, Billy Samuels,
Present.
James Simpson,
Here.
Jerome Tushbont, James Walker,
Here.
Bill Elliott.
Present.
You have quorum.
Thank you very much. We will go to agenda item number 2, public comment. This is for discussion only. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this item of the agenda until the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an item upon which action may be taken. Public comment may be limited to 3 minutes per person at the discretion of the chair. Comments will not be restricted based on viewpoint. To provide testimony during this period of public comment via telephone, please call in anytime after 12:30 p.m. on the day of the meeting by dialing 669-219-2599. When prompted to provide the meeting ID, please enter 686-738-8625 and then press pound. When asked to provide public comment, please press *6 to unmute your phone and *6 again when your comments are complete. Please be advised that the YouTube stream will be between 60 and 90 seconds behind the live meeting. If you would like to make a public comment, please call in using the above number to hear the meeting live. We'll go to Carson City. Any public comment in Carson City? We'll go to Zoom. Are there any comments on Zoom?
I'm not seeing any, and this is Shereen Whipple for the record. There was no written comments sent in either.
And nothing on the phone.
No.
Okay, we'll close out agenda item number 2, and we'll go to agenda item number 3 for discussion for possible action. The committee will discuss and review the minutes of June 12th, 2023 and September 6th, 2023 committee meetings. The committee will determine whether to approve the meeting minutes. Or approve the meeting minutes.
I know.
Okay, any discussion?
Bill, this is Jeannie Freeman for the record. Will we be voting on these as two separate action items, as I was present at one of the meetings and not the other, so I'm not able to actually give an approval on one of them? Will these be two separate actions?
Yes, these will be two separate actions. We'll go with the June 12th, 2023 first.
Thank you.
Bill, this is Billy Samuels.
Yes, Billy.
I was going over the meeting minutes and you guys were supposed to, on the fall meeting, we were supposed to receive a list of the deployments that the IMAC has had for the previous 6 months. I didn't see those in those packets. I think the meeting minutes are fine, but the following meeting, we did not receive the stuff I asked for on the June meeting. And if we can look over that, please. I'll reference it for you. So June meeting minutes, item 5, third paragraph down. I'm asking for, the chair back, I'll answer that a packet containing that information will be included in the fall IMAC meeting. We never received that.
Yeah, I put that down. I'll make sure that we get those to you.
Perfect. Thank you. Other than that,
Just
Bill, I
in
make a
class.
motion for the passing of the minutes for the June 2023.
Mr. Samuels made a motion. Do we have a second?
Roy Anderson seconds.
Mr. Anderson, second. All in favor of approving the June 12th, 2023 minutes, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. We'll go to meeting minutes, September 6th, 2023. Any discussion? Don't hear any discussion. Do we have a motion to approve the September 6th, 2023 meeting?
I make a motion, this is Carol, I make a motion that we approve the September 6th, 2023 minutes.
Ms. Lynn makes the motion to approve. Do we have a second?
This is Brian Howard. I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Motion is carried. We'll close out item number 3 and go to item number 4, presentation on real world events. Discussion only. Tristan Wadsworth, Nevada Division of Emergency Management, Homeland Security. The committee will be briefed on real world events, incidents and events for which DEM, Homeland Security deployed resources, but not through the intrastate mutual aid system. The incidents and events that will be discussed will include Formula One, Las Vegas Grand Prix, Super Bowl, and the Mount Charleston flooding. Mr. Wadsworth.
Good afternoon, this is Tristan Wadsworth for the record. For Super Bowl, DEM sent 8 staff to assist Clark County in the LVMPD, DOC, and the MAC, February 2024. For F1, DEM sent 7 staff to assist Clark County in the LVMPD, DOC, and the MAC, November 2023. And for Mount Charleston, Civil Air Patrol deployed to provide aerial reconnaissance photos for damages, February 2024. And that is all.
Do we have any questions or comments for Mr. Wadsworth?
This is Jeannie Freeman for the record. In reviewing this as a point of clarification, none of these resources were sent as a result of interstate mutual aid requests, correct?
Correct.
So this is just an information item for us on other items, on other deployments?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll close out agenda item number 4 and go to agenda item number 5. Presentation on Emergency Management Assistance Compact and Incident Management Assistance Team, IMAC. Rodney Wright, the Homeland Security Operations Chief. Mr. Wright will update the committee on plans to rewrite and finalize the IMAC policies. Mr. Wright.
Good afternoon, everyone. Rodney Wright for the record. Would just like to start off with the Emergency Management Assistance Compact. We have not had any deployments through the IMAC process to other states. We have had a few requests that have been put in to help and assist other states. Last month, Clark County had a Swiftwater team that was putting in to assist with Texas when they were having their heavy amounts of flooding. Our offer was not accepted for that one. At this time, we do have an offer on the table to support Wisconsin in July of 2024 for the Republican National Convention. They will be sending 5 police officers to support the Milwaukee Police Department in that event, and we'll have more to report out on in the next IMAC meeting as far as how all that went. When it comes to the Incident Management Assistance Team, we would like to complete out the Incident Management Team draft that was put together before COVID, and then that kind of came to a screeching halt during the COVID era. But we would like to get this going again. In addition to keeping the Incident Management Team language in there, we would like to put together a group and put in an Assistant Management Assistance Team, so it not only addresses having a team together to go out and run an incident for a jurisdiction, but we want to also have a team that would come together and be able to operate an emergency operations center for a jurisdiction that needs that assistance or may not have the staff or the training to do something like that in an event. We did have one of each type of deployment last year during the Atmospheric River 2 event. We had sent an incident management team to Lincoln County. We had also sent an incident management assistance team. I'm sorry, did I say Eureka? The incident management team went to Lincoln County. The incident management assistance team went to Eureka County to help run their EOC during their flooding events. We would just like to formalize an IMAT language into the policy that is still in draft mode for the incident management teams. And I have spoken to a few people across the state over the last few months trying to get interest on people that would be willing to sit on this group to discuss this. I have been in talks with our Deputy Attorney General, Sam Laddick, if this needs to be open meeting law for this group or not. I'm still waiting back whether this needs to be open meeting law committee to discuss this or not. And Sam, I don't know if you're on, if you have any answers to that for this group.
Sorry, I had to find the mute button. Thanks, Rodney. Yeah, I don't have an answer. I think we need to talk about it. If the document is being done by DEM, it might not be, but if it's being done and recommended by this group, if this group is going to be making a recommendation to the chief, then I think we will have to be subject to the open meeting law. So I think let's just have a conversation about that and we'll figure it out.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have for this agenda item. I'm open for any questions.
So Jeannie Freeman for the record. Rodney, question for you. So am I understanding this correctly that it's the idea of having 2 sort of a team for the field and a team for an EOC?
Yes, ma'am. That's what we would like to do is we'd like to have 2 of each team, one IMT and one IMAT up north and one IMT and one IMAT team down south so that we would be able to deploy those at any given time, just depending on who's in need.
Understood. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Wright?
Matt Peterson for the record, just more of a comment. I support the IMT as well as the incident support team. I have some concerns of staffing abilities if we're trying to stand up 4 teams and duplicate efforts. My concern is where are we going to get the people from? And so I hope that that's being taken into consideration on how we're moving forward with this. It does make me extremely nervous trying to build a team with already limited capability.
Rodney, right for the record, understood, sir. I have those same questions, and that's where I'm hoping that this group will come together to help make a decision. Do we cross-train that a team can be able to do both, or would we be able to find enough personnel that we could fill both teams at the same time? So hopefully that's what that group will be able to bring forward.
This is Carol. Just a question. So when this selection panel or whatever this committee is being put together, do you want that committee to come from this group, or are you opening it to other groups? I don't exactly understand how you're going to put that selection group together. That's all.
I'm certainly open for members of this committee if they want to add something on to their already busy schedules, but I've also been reaching out to some of the members in some of the teams that you work with already that have already a function in some sort of task like this in their agency across the state. So that we have a better buy-in and better understanding from larger departments to smaller departments, and hopefully get that cross-sector buy-in that would make this plan a lot more fair across the board.
Jeannie Freeman for the record. Rodney, I know that this is my last meeting with the Interstate Mutual Aid Committee, but I'd be happy to kind of be somebody from this from the outside, kind of giving some other perspective, that cross-sector piece being out of public health. Doesn't mean my schedule is not busy, but just putting that forward. I think I echo what Matt Peterson said earlier about you know, that depth and so forth. I guess my question is, you know, a lot of times when there's teams, there's not always the need for the full team to go out. Sometimes it's more like I need a planning section chief, or I need an ops section chief, or finance, or something of that sort. So when we talk about a team, or when you're thinking about a team, has there been any thought to maybe doing some sort of polling as to like what the depth is around the state, you know, because some of that has to do with training opportunities that have been brought into the state and who's got that, you know, I don't know if anybody's really fully deep when it comes to the planning section. But, you know, we do seem to have more depth on the ops. And so just kind of curious, because when I think of a team, I just want to make sure that it's just not a team of, you know, your IC and your command staff, that if you're going to have the command staff, we have several people who could do ops, or several people that could do plans, or several people that can do logs, just because it could be really hard if any of those people likely serve on other teams. And so, you know, it's kind of the same 3 people in the room. And I think that that's kind of how it goes in Nevada. So just trying to think about how we can have some other aspects. And I know you're talking cross-sector. I hope that there's also some conversation with maybe bringing in our private sector partners as well with that. And so just trying to think about how we can have that diversity can make it also be supportive. And I think that's just some of the biggest challenges that we have. That field piece tends to come heavily out of that fire realm because they've got that, but that EOC, you know, is a bit different. So just want to make sure that we have that depth as well.
Yes, ma'am. And I think that's what the benefit of having an all hazards team is. It's not strictly just that fire focus. where we can open it up to private sector, we can open it up to other stakeholders in the state that work operations centers across the board. So I think that is definitely a goal to include everybody and not just have it like a wildland or fire focus, that we open it up so that we can field the team.
And follow-up question with that, Ronnie, Jeannie Freeman for the record. Is it the intent to also have these individuals have their task books signed off, the DEM task books, so that they are actually at least credentialed within the state for those positions?
Yes, ma'am. That's going to be part of the Rodney Wright for the record. That's going to be part of the policy and the plan is a task book a task book timeline of how we work towards getting the task book signed off and through an approval process where we will select a task book approval committee. Anyone who has their task book that they consider complete, they'll send it to the committee, they'll do a review, they'll push it out. If they agree, they'll sign it off and it'll be signed off by the DEM chief. And then they would be considered a task book signed off individual in the state of Nevada.
Okay, and I think that's really important. And so, I mean, it shows a lot of investment on behalf of the entire state in these teams. I'm in agreement with Matt Peterson. I like the idea of what's here, but that sign off, it takes those experiences and those shadow experiences from across the state for them to be able to get those task books completed. So being able to have that done is really an investment for everybody who's sitting on this committee, as well as others who are not on the committee, but around the state. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions?
Matt Peterson, and sorry for that. Hey, Rodney, can you walk me through that again? So you're saying that the state is going to certify people's task books, not agencies?
So an agency would do that, but for the state IMT or IMT, we would like it to come through a committee that we would like to put together to do a task book review. So if your folks in your agency complete their task book and you sign it off, I think the way that we'd like to see it is if they would like to apply for the IMT, and if your task book signed off, you submit it to the committee, they do a quick review. If they agree, it's signed off, and then it's a state signed off task book. That makes sense, or does that sound like it's going to be duplicate work?
I'll give you my honest opinion because I know you love it. I think the task system is extremely flawed. Anybody can sign a bunch of pencils and blocks on there. I'm not saying that we don't follow it, right? We follow the system. We do our own internal reviews. I guess a more appropriate avenue, right? This is what our wildland agreements say, is that the state and federal governments, as long as we're adhering to the task book process or NWCG, they accept our qualifications. With that being said, I think that the agencies should still certify their people. Individual folks from, let's say, Oco County wants to participate in an IMAT or an IMT at the state level. It should be an application similar to the national IMTs, where you're almost applying for a job and using a resume with your built-in experience. Your task book could be part of that, but I have a concern and maybe some overreach of the state saying, hey, now we're going to certify your people, even though you have, because I don't want to get in a boat where Matt Peterson certifies someone and then Rodney says, well, I don't like what Matt did, I'm not going to certify them. Then we could potentially discredit agencies on their own verifications. But if it was a resume or an application process along the lines of, this is what I've done, this is how I got here, the state has more teeth to say, we'll place you in a trainee role, we'll place you in a temporary role, something along those lines where you're not questioning an agency's certifications.
Okay. And honestly, Rodney Wright for the record, I think that's why I want to put this group together to complete this plan, because what I think is good on paper may not look good to you, and you may have a different idea, and I think we can work it out to where it's beneficial for everyone. in the state, and it's easier for us to actually fill the team instead of fight a bunch of red tape to make sure that our Ts are crossed and our Is are dotted.
Okay, this is Bill Elliott for the record. Any further comment? Okay, we'll close out item number 5 and go to item number 6, public comment, discussion only. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this item of the agenda until the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an item upon which action may be taken. Public comment may be limited to 3 minutes per person at the discretion of the chair. Comments will not be restricted based on viewpoint. To provide testimony during this period of public comment via telephone, please call at any time after 2:30 p.m. on the day of the meeting by dialing 669-219-2599. When prompted to provide the meeting ID, please enter 686-738-8625 and then press pound. When asked to provide public comment, please press *6 to unmute your phone and *6 again when comments are complete. Please be advised that the YouTube stream will be between 60 and 90 seconds behind the live meeting. If you would like to make public comment, please call in using the above number to hear the meeting live. Do we have any public comment here in Carson City? Do we have any comment, public comment among our committee members and on Zoom? And do we have any comments from any phone or anything that you have, Ms. Wood?
This is Shereen Whipple for the record, no written comments.
Okay, we will close out item number 6 and go to item number 7, adjournment. Do we have a motion? Sorry, a motion for adjournment.
This is Brian Howard. I'll make the motion.
Brian has made a motion. Do we have a second?
Billy Samuels with the second.
Billy Samuels, second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? You can stay here if you oppose. Okay, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.